listening to Oilers Nation Radio, a member of the Nation network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Dan, Rick, Tyler, and Bag Milk starts now.
Oilers Nation Radio episode 213. Bag Milk, Tyler, Dan, Rick, and Liam.
Hello.
All here to break down what's happened in free agency so far on a brand new episode of Oilers Nation Radio. What you, the listener, may not know, though, is I'm in the fucking poverty spot of the podcast. I got the shitty headphones and mic. Thanks, Tyler. He's not even paying attention.
What do you mean, thanks, Tyler? I sat there initially, and then you were like, I don't want to be on camera.
Those headphones have been around since the Fountain Tire days, no?
No, those are the ones Amara got us.
These headphones.
They're not the Star Wars ones.
Yeah, what are the Star Wars ones?
Those ones are in the garbage.
Retired.
Are they really?
No, they're in a box.
Far away.
Oh, nice.
Good pull,
Nice.
Liam.
That's why
Hey, you could be Liam. We don't even have headphones for him.
It's Friday afternoon. Free agency underway. Oilers haven't done anything major since Wednesday, but there's plenty of time for that to go on. But as we do every week, we're going to start off the podcast with a shout out to our friends at Oodle Noodle. 17 locations and counting around the city. It's Friday afternoon. Nice box of nudes. Would probably do your tummy well, wouldn't it, Tyler?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With that, Mr. Yaremchuk,
Yeah.
what is our delicious debate for our friends at Oodle Noodle?
Whew, it's a spicy one today. What was Holland's best move on day one of free agency?
That's very spicy.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hot Holland summer.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm going to start with you.
It's the left defenseman for me. Bringing back Brett Kulak and really not leaving a gaping hole for us for the rest of the season, which I kind of just felt like we were pivoting from goalie hole to a defenseman hole. We don't have that. So I'm going to say Brett Kulak.
Was anybody like me and nervous when the reports came out, Brett Kulak going to be testing free agency? I went, fuck. And in my head, maybe it's just because we've been hurt so many times over the years that I just assume that's always a de facto of that guy is leaving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Calgary and look at how that worked out for them. As soon as their guys look elsewhere, they go there. So, I mean, yeah, it's a natural feeling.
I think it says something to what Edmonton's building, right? That these guys, you can include Kane in this, looked around a little bit and we're like, nope, I like Edmonton. Edmonton's a good spot. Obviously, money and all that's always a factor, but I think people are, and it's not just talk, people are viewing this as a spot you can win.
Well, I mean, but like the money part is what's interesting to me because generally the Oilers have to overspend on guys that are free agents, and 4x275 for Kulak to me is a really good deal for this player.
It's not only is it not an overspend, it's a bargain.
Because he can slide up and down your lineup on the left side.
Yep.
He can defend well, moves well. Nice first pass. Lots to like there about Brett Kulak. Rick, your favorite Ken Holland move to start off free agency?
My favorite or the best?
Or the best, whatever.
The best. It's tough because I think honestly the Kulak might be the best for the dollar, best for the bang. But dude, it's bringing Kane back and at that number. That's if he left that. The points, the goals, the whole of that spot there would have been probably resulted in an overspend in the free agent market. So filling that at that price for that length, I think it was fantastic.
Evander Kane, 4 years, $5.125 million. I went to bed kind of early on the Tuesday night because I knew we were going to have a big day coming into the office. We all had a good time on free agency day. I woke up to see that Kane had re-signed after posting it himself. You don't often see that either, that they make the announcement. I like it. But that deal blew me away because the rumor was 7x7 is what they were looking for.
And it saves you in more than one area too, right? Not only did you have to replace that scoring, which you're probably going to overpay for, but then if they did that, they were going to go after somebody who could be the intimidation factor too, right? So you're probably going to Delorier and overpaying that guy. So you're actually saved in two spots.
Can Evander Kane saved Ken Holland from himself?
There's a possibility.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the lateness of that contract signing tells me that was an offer that was just on the table from the Oilers. And it was like go out and check it out. And if you like it, come back.
And I bet you they threw a deadline on it.
Yep.
Like
the rumor was like they're only offering 4 3/4, like 4.75 was what I heard.
Yeah. So Kevin Weeks had that as the Oilers offering him 3x4.75.
And I laughed. I was like, this is, great. You're probably gone. But if that's what Holland's offering right now, like he's got a plan, he's sticking to it. And I like how things are going to go. And the fact we got it blew my mind.
In the end, slight bump from the 4.75, an extra year.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, though, that's hard to complain about this contract for the Oilers. You're going to get a guy who can score 30 to 40 goals in a full season with the Oilers, playing with McDavid, a guy that'll jump in to defend Connor if he ever needs to. Adds a little bit of spice in the top 6. I like it. Any other thoughts on the Kane contract?
To me, that's my pick for best/favorite signing too, is just, the Kulak deal's great, but if he plays his absolute best, I think he's a $4 million D-man. So you're getting value there if he plays at his best. Jack Campbell, if he plays at his best, he's still a $5 million goalie probably. If Evander Kane
It's 9, man.
Yeah, like he's a $9 million player. If he scores you 40 goals playing in your top 6, like it's insane the value they got there. Now, granted, that's also potentially the one that could bite you the hardest, right? Like if he doesn't behave off the ice and he starts causing problems in the rooms and all that, and if that all happens, then you're really kicking yourself for even bringing him back, and it could do other damage.
You got to feel like that contract's movable.
I think it's movable, and it's certainly buyoutable after a couple of years. If things
went off the rails a little bit here and he had an incident or whatever, I do believe somebody would have eaten that contract up in a second.
The interesting thing about his contract too is not just that it's cheaper than it was kind of expecting. It's kind of front loaded in the sense that the back half of the contract gets way more easy to buy out / trade. Like he's got a no move here, and then it gets reduced as the contract goes along. So it's almost like they were hedging their bet with it a little bit.
Yeah. Like if you were to buy out that contract right before the final season, I went one summer too far, I think. It's super cheap is my point. I don't know how this website works, but it's a very, very good buyout.
I'm watching Tyler's screen here and he's just frantically tapping.
Okay. If you buy it out before the final season, his cap hit would go down to 2.4 for that year. And then it's a 1.3 penalty the year after. Like if on the last year, you're like, shit, we got to cut bait. Like it's very easy to do. So is my point.
And by that point too, the Oilers will have had a bunch of dead money come off their books. Cap hopefully goes up. But I'd rather not talk about buyouts at this point before a guy's even played a game on his first contract.
Dude, I don't think 4 years is too much for this guy.
No, I don't think so either.
Well,
I don't think it's crazy.
Perfect.
It lines up well for the team as well because Draisaitl's contract comes off the books that summer, and then next summer is McDavid's. I'm saying when it comes off the books because then their next contract starts.
That's when they re-sign, is what you want to say.
Leon's a UFA the summer before Kane is, and then Kane and McDavid the same year. But still, like that's also that year. Draisaitl is going to be a UFA. I think that's the year the cap is allowed to jump up again. So like if you're the Oilers, you're actually loving life at that point, right? Because the cap's going to go up perfect. You send that money to Draisaitl. You don't have to do anything else. The next summer, Kane comes off the books. You probably give that money to McDavid and you're cool, right? Like everything's lined up pretty nicely for you.
Are there any movement clauses in his contract?
Right now. And then
right? So he's a no movement clause until February 28th, 2025. And then on March 1st, 2025, it's a 16-team trade list.
In other words, we're looking to trade you in 2025.
But like, I think this is just nice that it leaves the door open.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not like a Milan Lucic free agent signing where that thing, you can't buy it out. You had to retain money to trade it. It's not the same. And that leads me to our next contract that I actually like. It's going to pick my favorite is Jack Campbell. 5x5, a little bit too much, a little bit too long. That's free agency though. But the way I look at it, the Oilers went out and got the best goaltender available or near the best, depending on how much you like Kemper. Yeah. So having a guy between the pipes that can give you some consistent goaltending, well, fingers crossed, hopefully, room to run, room to grow. Seems like just the sweetheart of all sweethearts of people too. I like that one a lot. What are your guys' thoughts when they officially signed Campbell to the 5x5?
Well, I think you guys laid it out really well. It's just, it's either Kemper or it was Campbell as free agents for the top goalie. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are now, all of a sudden we have a Vasilevsky in our midst.
Yes, we do.
It's still a good player. I like Jack Campbell a lot when he was with the Kings organization. Didn't like as much of what I saw with the LA or with the Toronto organization, but that's, that's different scenarios and different issues. So I'm excited to see the Oilers have some kind of solidified, element to their goaltending situation.
Liam, what do you think of the goaltending side? What do you think of Jack Campbell's 5x5?
That was going to be my favorite one. My favorite pick of the week.
You're just copying bagged milk.
Greg the Egg McKegg 69.
Well, listen, if Greg the Egg McKegg comes into town and he wears number 69 like he did in the Toronto organization, he's going to be a fan favorite in 2 seconds.
That would be big for this team. We need someone like that.
For $762,000 league minimum, come on. Everybody's enjoying Greg McKegg, the egg, wearing 69 on the ice.
But goalies got better. I think we have a better goalie tandem this year than we did last year, right? Is that fair to say?
I would
agree.
I would agree so.
I think we actually got the best free agent goalie of the last 2 off seasons.
Who was even available from Markstrom onwards?
Yeah. Post
Markstrom.
Yeah. I mean, last year the top one was Grubauer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out great.
I mean, going into, not coming out,
But
not
I mean,
hindsight.
yeah.
But maybe the Grubauer thing is a cautionary tale in the sense that, you know, at the moment it was like, wow, Seattle went out and got the best goalie on the market. He was so good. How did Colorado let this guy walk? And he was junk.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid about with Kemper.
Well, that's what you should be afraid about with Campbell to some extent then.
Well, I mean, we've seen them as Toronto kind of slumped, and he saw that, you know, like even in that last series, Campbell wasn't terrible.
But
I don't think he was the reason he lost.
No.
They lost against
Oh, God, no.
Tampa.
No, he gave up 2 goals in a game 7. I'll take that in a game 7 every day.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, I think that if there's any team in the league that's comparable to the Oilers structure, though, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Correct?
Yeah, but I think we're doing it better. I think we're playing a better defensive game.
I think we have
All around defensive game.
than Toronto.
Yeah.
does.
I think if I remember reading these numbers right, if you want to compare Campbell to Smith, Campbell has a like worse high danger save percentage, but a better low danger save percentage. So the way I view this is you're getting a guy who maybe won't make as many ridiculous sprawling saves as Mike Smith, but will give up less goals on the ice from the blue line kind of thing.
Well, if
The other team's blue line?
With
we
the
think
either.
back to the playoffs, a lot of the goals I had major issues with Mike Smith was not the ones where you go, fuck, what a play. It was the ones coming down that those should be clear stops.
And I think the Oilers
That's
are gonna
been
get that.
a couple goalies for a couple seasons now. You go from Dubnyk to Talbot for a while there, to Mikko to Smith. I mean, it's been every goaltender that's come through here has kind of had the same issue.
The big question everyone would want answered is what's his save percentage on the first shot of the game?
Oof, that's actually a great
Would he have
question.
stopped the Rasmus Anderson goal?
Yeah.
Wow, who can stop that?
No.
Who
That
can
was
stop
that
that?
was dangerous.
That is the unstoppable puck.
Bag Milk and I were both behind the net on that one.
Yes, we were.
We had the prime example. Like, honestly, anybody sitting around you, was there anybody that was like, oh, fuck? Everybody's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
That
Because
was
like
the
from
feeling.
my vantage point, it was 10 feet in the air coming down. I'm like, that's going to go in. And then there it went.
Yep.
Jack Campbell, he stops that puck every time.
I've never seen Jack Campbell allow a goal like that.
That's
So,
true.
there
That's
you
true.
go.
All right.
Any other thoughts on Jack Campbell? Anybody nervous about Jack Campbell on real life on, what would that have been,
Well-
Tyler? Tuesday? Jay was not,
Yeah.
or I guess Thursday. Jay was not a big fan
So
of the 5x5.
the reason you're nervous because this is a big bet to make, right? You know, like when you sign a forward, if that forward is bad, it's not the end of the world, right? You play him on your third line, you hide him, you do whatever, right? If a D-man's bad, shelter the minutes, healthy scratch him, who cares? If Jack Campbell is bad, you're screwed.
Trade him back to
Hasn't
Toronto.
he only
Yeah,
played
it's
like 150
trouble.
games?
131 regular season games.
Yeah. And like as a 30-year-old, I guess that's a little worrying.
Yeah.
Or you
But
can look at it a little
also
less tread on the
it's
tires.
fresh.
But there was
More tread on the tires.
there's the story there is that he was behind Jonathan Quick for a long time in LA.
He was also an 11th overall pick.
But
So he should have probably made his way up a lot quicker than
Yeah.
most goalies, right?
Fair.
I
Just
think
like
that's a fair
devil's
concern.
advocate. Yeah. That'd be my only thing.
I think-
Cam Talbot came in as a 1-year star, or not even a star, right? And we wanted him back 2 weeks ago.
I would say like I'm concerned about Campbell, but I would have been concerned if they signed Kemper or Fleury or
Talbot
anyone or
or-
Husso. Like there's concern. Talbot maybe less so because it would have been like a 1-year thing, right? He was a UFA. You could have let him walk. Like giving term to a goalie is dangerous because it's a very unpredictable position, as we saw in the playoffs with Markstrom, right? Like he just crumbled, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, he wasn't worth that $6 million. Like there's no guarantee they're going to be good and consistent for you ever.
I think the thing is too in the NHL, like how many goalies are ever going to hit the market like a Vasilevsky level?
You have to draft him. You're not just going to get him.
You have to get him. Like how many like Shesterkin and Vasilevsky? are probably-
Sorokin, Saros, like all those guys,
So
right?
there's probably 5 guys in the league,
All drafted.
all drafted. You just kind of take a gamble and hope for the best.
But I mean, like we're talking about, and Tyler, you said it well. Like it's a bet, and it's a strong bet that we made. But we could have made that bet on Markstrom and could be holding that bag right now.
Yeah,
we tried, right? And if he had performed against the Flames like he did for us, I think we'd be in a way more pissed off situation than we are now.
And again, for me, Campbell wasn't the reason the Leafs lost the first round.
Nope.
And even when he had his dip, like he had a bad run after he got injured last season. Even then he finished with a .914 save percentage, which if he can give us that over the course of a year, I'm going to be pretty happy with
That's all we're asking for.
that is kind of where you want your goalie to be. And again, quality of the person. Who doesn't want to cheer for this guy? He throws birthday parties for his cats. Just got a dog, brand new puppy, already in an Oilers jersey. What's not to like about it? Any other concerns with Campbell? Looking at his contract too, this is another one where it's a little bit more front loaded towards, so kind of giving themselves maybe a little protection as it wears on if things don't work out, but I'm not really too worried.
I think there's a little bit of concern in how he handles pressure. I think that was an issue the Leafs had internally in their organization was maybe how well Campbell was able to kind of keep his focus and not pile on himself. I think sometimes he is his biggest critic, and that is a detriment in the sense that he crumbles sometimes. So that's a concern for me. You're still in a big market. I wonder, will he feel the pressure of his first big money contract and having this expectation that he is now the guy who's going to backstop Connor McDavid to a Stanley Cup? Like, does that get to him? That's a concern.
But then you could also say the same thing for the Leafs just did though. Like, I mean, they moved on from Campbell because they didn't like the term reportedly, and then filled that hole with Matt Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big gamble. I know it's only 2 years, but 2 years, Austin Matthews comes up for free agency. You've got 2 years to show that guy that, you mean business. So would you rather have the tandem of Campbell, Skinner, or Murray, Samsonov, the hard out?
Matthews is a UFA in 2 years.
That's crazy.
Arizona State.
Maybe that's when I can send out my meme.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
When does Arizona get their new arena?
Probably 2-3 years.
Name it the Austin Matthews Arena.
Yeah.
So overall, though, when you add in the bonus of Greg the Egg McKegg, Colin Pickard as the third.
Is that his name?
No, it's Calvin.
Calvin.
What did I say?
Colin.
Oh, I even wrote Colin. Calvin Pickard. What grade would you give Ken Holland overall so far? We're recording today, Friday, July 15th, a couple of days into free agency. I still think there's more coming, be it trade or free agent.
I think he's an A right now.
He's an A. Like, I won't go A plus because again, they didn't get better. They just brought back the same team and they may have improved their goaltending. We'll know that answer in time. But I still give him an A because look around the league, how many contenders actually bring back the same team? Very few. So the fact he was able to do that is
compare the Kane contract to other contracts signed in the last 2 days. And I'm sorry, we love him. We loved him when he was here. We didn't see him going to the Rangers, but Ryan Strome 5 times fined, or Kane at his contract. Oh. I'm taking Kane it's insane.
If there was a clone of Evander Kane out there, I would sign him to the same contract again. Like, I want more of that.
Trocheck
is a massive deal.
What happened to Tampa Bay?
They're giving out 8-year deals like no one's business. But to their credit, a lot of the guys that give those they're young guys. Like a Sergachev is 24-ish roughly.
Yeah, but you're signing up 8 years to, man, you don't know what's going to happen in 8 years.
They're trying to get bargains though, right?
It's probably not going to be that GM's problem anyways.
Wasn't there a report? It might have been Frank that even said it, that Palat wanted the Nick Paul deal and they said no.
Yeah, like apparently he
what was
said
the Nick Paul deal?
7 years by $3 million.
$3 million. They said no and signed Nick Paul over Palat, which seems odd.
They're cutthroat though, man. They will never pay you for what you did. They're going to pay you for what you will do. And they think Palat was overvalued.
And they got a guy with 2 first names. It could go either way. It could be Paul Neck if you want him to be.
They have a lot. Guy. They have a lot of dual names.
Ross Colton.
That's a double name. Ian Cole.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yep.
That might be it. Brian Elliott.
Yeah. Brian Elliott.
Okay, too.
Anyone in the minor league system?
Zach Bogosian.
Felix Robert.
Jack Finley.
Yeah. Jack Finley. All right.
Just saying.
Yeah, you don't got to explain it to me. I guess.
That's big. We're going for the all ginger team. They're going for the all name team.
Exactly.
Whole roster is first and double first names.
So there you go. I want to hear from you. Which is the best move that Ken Holland made in free agency so far? Hit us up, ON Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you are looking to order some Moodle Noodle today, which I encourage you to do, why not just park up on your house, on your couch, or in your backyard? Enjoy the sun. Use DoorDash. Ding dong. Liam?
Ding dong.
Thank you very much. Another thing I got to talk about. Liam, I want to say sorry to you because you had a meme ready to go. I know you're disappointed. when the Oilers lost out on Connor Brown because he ended up with the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
You'll get that soul stone yet.
Liam was building a meme of former Leafs that were coming in and they were going to be like our
Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it was...
We missed one. We're missing one.
Yeah.
We still have to sacrifice someone, I think, is the deal.
Pierre Engvall is coming to Edmonton. Here first.
So I just wanted to quickly acknowledge Liam for a meme lost.
Having a rough week.
Yeah, real rough week. But
at least.
Was anybody overly disappointed they missed out on Connor Brown for a second round pick?
Yeah, I think so. Like he would have been an easy addition. And I'm just confused as to why they missed out on him. Like if the ask was a second round pick and you're the Oilers, you had that pick.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it gone in the Cassian or is that third round in 24?
That was
third and 24 and a second and 25.
Oh, okay.
So you have your next 2 years of second round picks. You have first, second, and third rounder this year. I get they were trying to like recoup the pick, but for me, get the player, then worry about recouping the pick. Like,
but okay, so I know this is probably retains more to me than anybody else, but don't you think it saved a certain player?
Puljujarvi, yeah.
I don't think it was him.
No, but you wouldn't have had the money for him.
I think it was Fogle.
Going the other way?
So the reports made it seem like the Oilers were trying to trade somebody
Yeah.
to get that pick to then send that pick
Flip, yeah.
to where was he? Ottawa.
Yeah.
And the report made it seem like it wasn't Puljujarvi or Barry, but Fogle that was going, which kind of would make sense because Fogle's, what is it?
275.
275 and Connor Brown's 3. So I think that's kind of why it would have.
Now, how many right wingers do you have at that point?
You would have had Puljujarvi, Yamo, and JP. Connor Brown. Zach Hyman can play either way.
Yep.
Yeah, your left would have been Hyman and Kane, and then on the right, Yamo and Puljujarvi, and I guess Connor Brown.
Yeah. And then Nuge also was a left winger, I suppose, which is why you would have wanted to move on from Fogle. Mm-hmm. And you have Holloway.
And then you have Holloway
I don't know. Maybe you don't necessarily need him if you're planning on keeping Puljujarvi, but I just felt like he would have been a nice add and the acquisition cost was low.
That's what I like too, that it showed that Holland was trying to be active and like get more offense for this team.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen, and then this is probably just Kennedy's fault, to be honest, Dylan Strome.
Oh, she was on Strome.
I was sold on Dylan Strome by the night of day one.
But what about the contract he signed?
I'm not upset about the contract just because to me, that's like, I mean, I guess that's what we have penciled for a Yamo or a Puljujarvi, but I would have just liked to have seen him on Connor's wing for 1 year.
I don't think either of those guys got 375, by the way. I don't think anyways.
Well, I think they each get about 3.
A chunk of that money would have had to have, one way.
For me, the Strome dream was dead when Kane signed, just because if you wanted to play Strome with McDavid, well, you're not playing him above Hyman or Kane, right? So it's like, where are you going to put him?
Strome fits best in the top 6, not the middle or the bottom.
Yeah.
So,
like, are you going to play him on your third line with McLeod? Like, maybe that works, but I think we kind of all know that Strome's a better top 6 complementary player than he is a third line driver. So I think it was fine to pass on him as much as I really would have liked to see it.
And I think they believe that Holloway could easily be doing that job by Christmas or, playoff time anyways.
What are you pointing at?
Yeah, I think the water bottle. The water bottle for sure.
What are you doing?
I thought you were telling him to look at something outside.
Yeah, I thought I was looking outside too. I was like, what's out there? Is there a dog?
Agua.
I thought I was going to see a
Needs to
friendly
hydrate.
dog.
Is yawning over there? He's
Interrupts the podcast to let you know that there's a dog.
Man,
out
he
front.
is powering through that tap water.
Awesome.
No thanks.
It's probably warm, isn't it?
Lukewarm.
That's the best.
It's supposed to be good for you that way.
Not
28
Mark warm?
degrees outside in
Yeah,
Thailand.
like room temperature
I'm
water
not
is
trying to
supposed
freeze
do
my
its job.
insides. What do I look like? Ted Williams?
This water break is brought to you by.
This water break is brought to you by Cornerstone Insurance. How's that, Dan?
That was good.
Make sure you stay hydrated. Nobody wants kidney stones. Tyler is not going to have them.
Nope.
He just put back about a half liter right there. How big is that water bottle?
20, just over 20 fluid ounces, but 24 if I fill it to the brim.
All right.
It's like a full pint. Full pint then
Full
some.
pint. I could go for a pint right
Man,
now.
I
Right?
could go for a pint right now.
All right.
Why we guys did bring in one Nation beer for some reason.
Well,
I don't know what's going on here. We didn't bring in 5 straws, but there's one can of Nation beer.
That'd be nice. Everybody just takes a sip and passes it down the line.
Early straws.
Cornerstone Insurance. Go check them out at cornerstoneins.ca. They've got all the products you need: auto, residential, commercial, life insurance, and citizens of the nation. They gave themselves a little discount. Want to get a quote? You can have one right there on the website, cornerstoneins.ca. Why you got your finger up now?
It's telling you to look at the roof.
Pause for an ad.
Is that a long enough pause?
Yeah, that's a great pause. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Tyler, hydrated, producing, doing all the things we need him to. Good. All right. The other thing I want to talk about before we get to Ask the Idiot is how could I not? Jonathan Gadreau.
John,
Jan, actually. Soft J.
yes.
Couple gone.
Oh, hit a button.
Go, Johnny, go.
What's this one?
Oh, that's cold.
That is nice call.
Yeah.
So Johnny Gadreau, according to Frank Saravalli, had a monster deal on the table from the Flames. 8 years, 10 plus, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
That would have made him like what, top 10 players?
Yeah, would have won one of the most highly paid players in the league for
Crazy.
sure.
Highest paid in their franchise.
Highest paid in Flames franchise history for sure.
Highest paid player named John. Wait,
Highest-
no, never mind. It would
Jonathan Taves.
Tavares as well. He would not. Maybe that was the sticking point.
It's like Leclerc must have had a big contract way back when too, I bet.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No way that touched 11 though.
So
I bet you it was close. I bet you it was like 9-ish.
back in those days, because like Bobby Holik got $9 million.
Yeah, someone got to look up John Leclerc.
Close.
So Gadreau, right down to the wire. What were the teams that were reportedly, before he signed in Columbus, the teams that wanted to get him essentially were New Jersey, Philly, New York Islanders.
Yes.
From what I understand, Islanders were rumored, but they were never really in it. So there was 3 teams, and I think I was listening to Elliot on the way in today, and it was Calgary, Columbus, and Jersey.
To be fair, that's just because the red cord on Lou Lamoriello's phone wasn't connected.
Yeah, somebody cut it. He couldn't
call.
He was kind of
Rogers
duct
was
taped
down.
together, but it wasn't.
Rogers was down for that
What
minute
was he
there.
supposed to do?
Yeah, I couldn't find a pay for
It was going to be too hard.
What do you guys think of Johnny moving on? My thought was he's going to be back in Calgary when I saw some of the rumored money that was being thrown at him. How could a guy just walk away from, $88, $90 million, whatever it was? But then to end up in Columbus of all places, I was stunned.
Less the city and more the contract. Like I know you can only get seven years, but just seeing that he left like $15 to $17.5 million on the table.
Yeah, just like gone.
Columbus has sidewalks. Calgary doesn't.
He fucking hated Calgary. That's what I've learned.
There's something going on there.
It's very puzzling. This would be like if Connor McDavid went to the Oilers in 3 years and was like, hey guys, I love playing for you. This was a great run, but I want to go back home. I want to sign back home. Turned around and signed in Winnipeg.
Yeah. Because Winnipeg is a tad closer to home.
Yeah.
Which is what Johnny Gadreau said yesterday.
That's the part that blew my mind. Like if he would have signed in Jersey or Philly, I feel like it wouldn't have stung as much for Flames
It's
fans.
understandable.
But the fact that he went to Columbus for like $750K less. Oh my Lord.
I completely accept the Flames fans' response to this whole thing because like even yesterday during his press conference, he's like, well, I wanted to keep this all about Columbus. Like you didn't think anybody from Calgary was going to have some questions for you, Johnny?
Or just that he would be, he played there for 12 years, that nobody was going to ask him about
nice
what happened.
Yeah.
So this quote though, over at dailyfaceoff.com, Coombsy wrote about it, is just, I couldn't believe it when I read it. I actually thought Cam was making shit up. I always dreamed about playing a tad closer to home. If you're keeping score at home, it is still a 9-hour drive or a couple-hour flight. It didn't matter where I was signing. We just decided it was best not to go back to Calgary. Just absolute devastating.
That's a kick in the dick.
Man, just rude.
Like that's got to be. That's like. I mean, it hurts. Everything hurts so much for them. I bet.
But that line specifically,
That's like slapping you right in the bullet hole.
Does this not confirm what we've heard for a few years, which was that like there's a fracture in that room between Johnny and Matthew and the coach?
I don't know about Johnny and Matthew necessarily, but I do think this says something about Guidro a little in the sense that I think he wanted to go to a small market. I think he wants to be out of the limelight. I think he wants to be away from the pressure. I don't think he wants to be grilled by the media when he doesn't score every game. I just think he looked at it and was like, I'm going to go to a smaller market. I'm going to be closer to home. I'm going to get a bit of money, not all the money I possibly could have earned. And I'm just going to play out my career here and have a good time.
But you know what I do? I say, listen, family, I love you. You're all very handsome. The Gadreau clan, everybody loves you. Everybody loves each other. They've got secret handshakes. I just signed a contract in Calgary for $88 million. All of you can have $100,000 to come visit.
Well, right. Like give your 15 closest family members $1 million.
Yeah. An extra $1 million for everybody. Come visit whenever you like.
Build a house in Calgary with this million.
You can meet me by the Giant Head.
The big blue ring.
I think this was a Johnny decision, not even a family decision. I just think he didn't want to be in a big market.
I think he just wanted to Calgary, whether it be the big market, the city for something, Canada or whatever. He just wanted out.
What do you think Calgary does now? Do you think they go fishing for somebody like a Nazem?
They're running out of time.
Well, Kadri said no to them 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
But-
dude, if they don't get Kadri, they're like who else are you getting right now? Like the best player out there is Klingberg, I think. And that's a defenseman. In terms of forwards, dude, there's second liners now.
Well, that's where the timing of the Gadreau thing is just wild because I mean,
End of round or day one, essentially.
well, you can't tell me that this guy didn't knew he wasn't going to sign in Calgary. Like he had to have known it before the 10th hour. Like I
actually think
It went
you
down
think
to
it was
the
to the
end.
last minute?
yeah.
But
Man.
still, even at that point, you have to be as a GM go, okay, listen, I get it. You make your decision still. But I'm going to start working the phone right now.
I think the big mistake from Tree Living was not just doing this last summer. Either get him extended last summer. I think this is a lesson other GMs. Either extend him last summer or trade him last summer. Because at least if you had traded him last summer,
You get something for
you
him.
get a couple of firsts for him probably, right? Maybe a prospect in there, or maybe you have some sort of 1-for-1 deal with another team lined up. Like you can make something work.
It's like it
for one.
hurts, but at least you got something coming.
But isn't this just a reality check now for Calgary fans that they're just like us? That's not a desirable market to necessarily go to, and you have to win to be desirable to be there.
Yep. Okay, Canadian teams have to win for players to want to come there.
Part
as
of it's
simple
the
as that.
player though too, because they definitely did win. Like I mean, they had a
They were a
decent
good team.
year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just that.
And then if you have Johnny there, other players are going to look at it, and it's not a terrible place to go. I mean, you're real close to the mountains.
There's no way Johnny looks at their performance in the playoffs and says, "Yeah, I want to do that again."
Yeah, but sometimes you got to look in the mirror.
He did it.
Fair
No
enough.
one's seeing peel away from Draisaitl on the boards.
Yeah, so just shout out to Johnny Gadreau that his last play as a Calgary Flame was a flyby on Draisaitl on the series winner.
Thanks, Johnny.
I tweeted that right after it went through, and Flames fans were like, his job was to cover the D. I'm like, okay, I'll buy that, but there's no way Sutter would have been like, all right, Jonathan, I need you to go cover the defenseman. But if you have a chance to make a play on the puck holder at the hash marks, you just fly right by that guy. Don't worry about
Not any puck holder.
it. A former MVP.
Yeah.
What a memorable playoff run we had. We retired Kopitar and we chased Gadreau out of Alberta.
Brown.
Does it say Kopitar
Sorry.
retired?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kopitar
Yeah, sorry,
retired.
Dustin Brown. Yeah.
Holy baloney.
Breaking news here on Mother Nation Radio. Anze Kopitar is no more.
We are now
he
joined by
retires
Anze
now.
on the line.
What comes next in Calgary? I know Tyler, like he nixed the trade a few years ago when it was going to be to Toronto, from Toronto to Calgary. But if they throw a bag full of money at you, that could make a difference. No, just to play at devil's advocate here.
I don't know if you can throw a bag full of money at him. Like, dude, he's a great player, right?
You can't just be dumb though.
No, he's going to get like at this point, I think you have to
be
sit.
dumb, but
You have to sit there and think of moving
that's
Kachuk
what I mean.
out and doing as fast as of a mini rebuild as possible.
The other
that's
thing
what I
too,
mean. Like you got to see, what does Kachuk want to do now that his line mate is gone?
Yeah.
Does he want to stay there? Are you going to have to overpay him to stay? Like, is that like how close to panic is Tree Living right now? That's what I want to know.
Oh, he's at the door. He's opening that.
So they have $18 million in cap space. They could open up some if they were to trade a Sean Monahan, but they probably have to keep half.
And
So
what's Monahan's return value though?
nothing.
Can't be that much.
You're probably keeping half and getting a pick for him.
So, yeah,
But let's
just
say
open up money.
let's say you can open up $21 million because you trade Monahan. Okay. Kachuk needs 8 or 9, right? Mangiapane needs 5,
But
5,
you
6.
have to pay Kachuk more than that though to be like
Okay,
Matthew.
sure,
maybe.
sure. Then say you pay him 10. So with him and Mangiapane, you're at 15.
Mhm.
Okay. Shillington needs probably 3 to 4. Okay. So now you're at 18 to 19 million. You can't afford Nazem Kadri if you want to keep everyone.
Yeah. I think honestly, you have to consider moving out Kachuk and for the most value possible to try and make up, then trying to lessen the blow of Johnny walking away for free.
Yeah.
It's
An interesting.
I would say
Interesting
Kadri,
times.
I would say Kadri's more likely to re-sign in Colorado than to go to Calgary.
Yeah, I think there is a
Probably.
path to him to go
Yeah,
back there.
probably.
Like if they can make the money for him if they trade Sam Girard, which maybe they do, right?
Yeah, but what happens when that contract needs to be signed next year from their captain from their,
Eric Johnson comes off the books. That's his money. They can make it work.
Eric Johnson, the actor.
Yep.
Amazing for him that he's playing for Colorado.
Let's look ahead though. If
Great
you're
job.
Calgary and you punt for a year here, I know this isn't a Flames podcast. Maybe people don't give a shit, but division
Welcome
rival.
to Flames Nation
No,
Radio.
but see, we need to know.
I am Ryan Pipe.
People need this firepower so that they can go after.
So
persons.
next summer, the top UFAs by point production: Huberdeau, Miller, Patrick Kane, McKinnon, Tarasenko, Pavelski, Pasternak, Larkin, Michael Bunting, Tyler Bertuzzi.
Well, do you think Patrick Kane will want to go to Calgary after his year in Edmonton?
Well, again, Liam's been pushing.
It's
this
only
hard.
going to be a half year.
So I think Liam is manifesting this Kane deal a little bit because you've been talking about him for weeks now.
Oh, well, at least a month.
And the other day, reports came out that the Oilers kicked tires on him to see at least, hey, what's going on?
It was me. I called.
I think Liam's
Hello, Patrick.
manifesting this Kane deal.
It is Liam.
We want Kane. We're collecting Canes.
Ryan O'Reilly, Bo Horvat.
Liam uses a voice changer.
There's not
Says he's
there's
Ken
not a
Holland.
lot there, and there's a good handful of names there that are not going to hit the market.
Yeah, it's
The best players on the list are most likely not going to hit the market.
Maybe you can swing something with the Islanders. Maybe you do just need like a retool. Try to get Matt Barzal. He's an RFA next year.
I wonder how much it would take to get Michael Kane also, Liam.
I don't know.
It's worth exploring.
Check his comparables.
Yeah, it's worth exploring. Any other thoughts on Calgary, Tyler?
No, I don't think they're making the playoffs next year.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Pacific Division then.
It's
Calgary.
Oilers,
ours.
Oilers have to be the favorites. In
We're on a
this.
different shelf than everybody else.
Vegas got worse, and who knows what's happening with Leonard. Calgary got worse. Vancouver got better, but still not much of a threat, in my opinion. LA got better. They're a threat, I suppose, but I still don't trust their goaltending very much, so that could sink them. San Jose's not better. Anaheim's not better. So there's just no one on Edmonton's level.
Liam, open up some betting sites there. Let's see what the numbers are for. Have they released that stuff yet?
No, not for division
Not for
odds.
divisions. Oilers and Vegas with same odds for the Stanley Cup.
What?
That doesn't even come close to making sense to me.
Oh,
what's the deal with Lehner right now? You said
I heard he might not be ready to play the start of the season.
okay.
So what's the deal with
divisions
Vegas?
are right now.
Ooh.
Would have been nice. At
Wait. Let's all guess.
Oof.
Okay, so I'm going to say
Senators in the Atlantic.
Oilers. I'm going to say the odds aren't very good. I'm going to say plus 150 or something.
Division?
In the division.
Division. I think Vegas will be the favorites.
I think Edmonton will be plus 100 even money favorites.
Edmonton's going to be the favorite for sure.
Plus one. Yeah, plus 120.
I'll go Vegas
guessing
as
the
the
number.
Our
favorite.
friends at PointsBet Canada, they say.
Survey says. Whoa, plus 270?
Holy sh!
Okay, I'll read them.
Hey, do you guys have a debit machine in here?
Edmonton plus 270, Vegas plus 275, Calgary plus 290, Kings plus 425, Canucks plus 1,000, Kraken plus 7,000, Sharks plus 8,000, and the same with the Ducks.
Sorry, what was Calgary?
Plus 290,
290, and we're plus 200.
I was just going to say,
270.
can you bet that the Kings are going to finish higher than the Flames on that one?
You can't do that yet, but you usually can.
Now, what is there? Are there conferences or Stanley Cups?
Stanley Cup's on, which was,
And dude, okay, Stanley Cup. Guess your Stanley Cup number.
I already know.
I already know it. We did a betting podcast this morning.
BLT Bets episode 12.
Yep. Go download. Subscribe.
What is it, like plus 700?
Oh, you can do a conference. Where was this morning?
Hell, what the fuck?
Yeah, we just recorded a betting podcast 3 hours ago, and none of us.
Okay, let's guess the.
Okay, what do you think they are in the West?
Second right behind Colorado.
Yeah, I would say
at
plus 600.
Yeah, plus 600. I'll agree.
Plus 550.
How is Vegas ahead of them here?
That makes no sense.
So Vegas is plus 650 and Edmonton is plus 750 in the Western
for the
Conference. Colorado is plus 170 is a clear favorites.
Still got to remember that this is still the public making these lines move, right?
course.
But it
Oh,
just doesn't make sense that Vegas
Honestly,
are above Edmonton when they just did it for the Pacific where Edmonton was
Yeah.
above Vegas.
honestly, I wonder if many people know about the Lehner.
Okay, give me the Stanley Cup now.
Plus 1,500. Woo! Same as Vegas.
And same
Oh,
as
it
the New York.
changed.
Ooh, spicy.
Plus 1,600.
We
And
are
Vegas
dropping.
is plus 1,400.
How?
Oh,
So I'm
damn
looking
it.
at Tyler. Can you explain what Vegas is going to do to me? Because I'm looking at Cap Friendly right now. They're still in the red in terms of projected cap
They'll
space.
put Weber on LTIR and be good. So they'll have, once Weber goes on
That's
LTIR.
not factored in where it's at right now.
No.
Oh,
they have
okay.
no goaltender.
Yeah, they've got one goalie, and he may not be ready.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think the Weber thing is factored in there yet. So I don't think so, but
So they've got Keegan Coleslaw that to resign and Nicholas Roy. You a coleslaw guy?
Nicholas Roy, another
Who's whispering?
2-name guy.
me.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay player, maybe.
What are you whispering?
I was doing math in my head. Yeah. It's the reason I didn't say it fully out loud.
Just dreaming over the coleslaw.
Yeah, coleslaw is delicious.
Dude's
Depends
hungry.
which one it is, though.
Ain't no laws when you're eating the slaw.
Of course, everybody
I
says
always
that.
say.
So back to the Pacific Division. I fought the slaw in the slaw one.
Please make a clip of that one, was Tyler just looking around for any reaction to his joke.
Pacific Division. Calgary worse. LA better. Vegas who
Worse.
knows?
Lost Pacioretty for nothing. They're worse. But they'll
That
be
trade
healthy,
just
I
doesn't
guess.
make any sense. Like they traded major assets to get Pacioretty just to flip them. for
They weren't
nothing.
super great last year,
They were not.
They were just hurt. So
There's
maybe
a lot
that
of-
but they weren't
balances it
super
out.
great when they're healthy.
Full year of Jack Eichel, though.
I'm still Jack Eichel is still I don't know, man. I'm not totally sold on that.
And he
He's a
went-
hell of a player, but he's a little bit of fake news for me.
Yeah, he's getting there.
Like, cause he was being compared, I remember, to Connor, and obviously it's not even close.
hasn't broken that way, no.
No, because he can't seem to get the Buffalo stink off him.
Dude, it's just like
25 points
You
in
know what?
34 games.
I'm going to go ahead and say Buffalo's trying to get the Eichel stink off them. That's my city. Come
I
on.
think,
Go
I think
Bills.
they got it off.
Yeah,
They're pretty good
They're
last
pretty
year.
good last year once they traded them.
Have you ever seen Eichel smile? He always looks angry.
I saw him smile when he got mad that Buffalo fans booed him. That was the only time I've seen Eichel smile.
Yeah.
Ginger, though.
Should we get him?
We could.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. Another one.
There you go.
When's his contract up? He's got to be.
He's got-
27.
Oh, he's still a long ways away.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
4 more years. Same year as Connor.
Any other thoughts on the Pacific Division, boys, before we move on to Ask the Idiots?
Yeah, just wrap it up. I mean, whatever will come first. It's all good.
We'll be putting up a banner this year.
Who's going to come last?
San Jose.
San Jose or Anaheim?
Calgary.
Or the Kraken? Kraken were dreadfully.
Come on, Shane Wright season.
Yeah, Shane Wright will be fine.
They were
Jacob
saying
Markstrom
they
isn't
might go
finishing the
Shane
season.
Wright and Matty Beniers as their 1-2 centers.
Why not? I'd say buy all into that, you know?
I don't think it's a bad
They
idea.
got, you know what? You know who Seattle needs to push them over the edge? I'm just looking at their blue line. Carson
Connor
Soucy's
Bedard.
wasted there. They need Tyson Barrie.
Mhm.
They need a guy that can move the puck.
Yep. Seattle, Barrie for Soucy.
Well,
Let's
they
it
did
done.
get Jolts, though.
They did.
Yeah, no, they're not taking Barrie then. Damn.
Hey, listen,
Damn you, Jolts, screwing us again.
How big are those kids you want to play center? Because we just watched
Like
this
that?
10 years ago when Nuge got here,
I think Beniers
and they
is
fed
pretty
him
big.
number one centers. And look who the number one centers are. Like,
Wright is 6'1", 200, and Matty Beniers
Beniers
is
is-
6'2", 175.
yeah, 175, and you're gonna be asking him to try and stop Leon,
Yeah.
try and stop
Leon
Kopitar.
The
Leon
only-
will just
yeah.
stuff you in his pocket.
I mean, he does that to full-grown men, but
That's what I mean.
we watched when they fed Nuge that type of stuff. He was out there against Kopitar. He's out there against Getzlaff. It was
just- yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Dude, it terrifies me for those young kids. We walked through those steps already. That's scary.
It is scary. But you know what?
Poor young guys.
If you feel bad, Seattle, just go to that market where they throw the fish around. That'd be fun to watch.
Uh-huh.
I think
Go to
so.
a Mariners game.
You could go to a Mariners game.
Mariners game.
Mariners game. What's his pickle? Got a inside the park home run the other day.
Who?
Well, that guy.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Haggerty.
Yeah.
Dude was
He was
moving.
fucking hauling ass. Man.
Oh,
He-
that
Fallen.
guy.
that guy.
But it was like the center fielder came in to catch the ball and it got past him. He had
Yeah,
to run
but-
back to the track.
But man, when he saw it go past his glove.
Oh, dude, that
holy
guy's-
fuck. The legs were moving. All right. Ask the Idiots. No sponsor right now. If you want to sponsor Ask the Idiots, reach out.
That's the buffering sponsor sound from Bag Milk. Ask the idiots.
Well, I was looking at it. I had it written down. I forgot we don't have a sponsor right now. So if you want to sponsor Ask the Idiots,
$8.
that's a bargain. Email Tyler at origination.com. All right. Question number 1. Don't cheat, Tyler. You're looking at my screen. I see.
Okay. Yep, I was definitely doing that.
First question, I'm going to start with Liam. In honor of our new hero, Soup, I want to know if the boys classify cereal as a soup. By definition, soup is a liquid-based meal with pieces of solid food added to it. Milk is the liquid base, with cereal being the solid food.
No, it is not soup.
Why not?
Because it's cereal. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, shut up. I hate people that do that.
More of a taco than a sandwich.
Shut up.
Is a taco a sandwich?
No, it's a taco.
I'll have a follow up.
More of a wrap.
I have a follow up for this.
No, it's not soup because I have soup for lunch, not for breakfast.
Dan, his cereal is soup.
It's a cold soup. So
Yep.
yes, it's a soup.
You're like a gazpacho.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. Liam, is a gazpacho a soup to you?
I don't know what that is.
What is
It's a cold soup.
It's cold tomato soup.
No,
It's
that's
cold
cereal.
tomato soup served
nice.
usually with a piece of grilled cheese.
It's very nice.
That's lovely. Refreshing.
And it is soup.
Rick,
Technically
is
it is.
cereal a soup?
No, because like the dictionary says cereal has to involve grains, and I don't think all.
But a rice soup would involve rice is a grain, right?
Yeah, rice is
So what you're saying
like a
is
tomato rice
See,
soup.
and I think this is getting to be our all hot tubs jacuzzis or jacuzzis hot tubs.
that's a brand name, isn't it?
Well, that's just it.
a
That's
lot
like
going on.
Cereal isn't a
Kleenexes.
brand
Kleenex
name?
and tissue.
Tissue,
Pardon?
yeah.
Tissue
Cereal
paper.
isn't a brand name though.
No, I bet it's not a brand name, but it's still the same thing. It's got a definition to it.
So maybe some cereal is soup, but not all soups are cereal.
That's the thing. Maybe
what
rice
I'm saying.
soup is just rice cereal.
So are we saying that
It's like
soup
fingers
that,
and toes fingers.
so if soup has like a piece of barley in it, is that cereal?
It's a good.
The grain. I think you're getting, based on definitions. We're getting into some gray area here.
This is deep. Go ahead.
Tyler. Tyler, is cereal a soup?
I don't care.
Come on. Play along.
Can't take the easy way out.
No, it's
You are the Brian Burke of this panel sometimes.
Who did I miss?
don't
Dan.
know. What was the answer?
I'm still going to say it's soup.
I'm saying
Cold
it's a
soup.
soup. Absolutely. It's a fucking soup.
I'm also going to say that if soup has barley in it, it's cereal. How's that, Liam?
Rice, tomato, cereal. Delicious.
You know, it's a great soup. Make yourself if you ever have a leftover pasta, like leftover plain penne or a plain
That's
noodle.
not
just
soup.
noodles,
That's
just
pasta.
noodles.
No.
those are grain.
You make tomato soup and you just put the pasta in there. Delicious.
I was going to say
pasta-
the mushroom will do it really nice too.
If the pasta's made out of grain, though,
Chicken
that's a
on top.
cereal.
Yep.
Now I'm hungry.
What if it's gluten friendly?
How do you
It's
eat
not, it's
soup,
soup.
Tyler? How warm do you have it?
Very cold. I usually
Like a gazpacho?
Like a cereal.
No. I usually make the soup, bring it to a boil, and then add in a handful of ice cubes to bring it back to a good temperature. That's not a joke.
Really?
I believe it.
I add cubes of ice to
It
my
probably
soup.
eases up on all the flavors too. Like it gets a little too
Yeah.
flavorful for him. He's like, I got to ease up on these flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This needs a texture.
You've never had a good wet steak before?
The other day, I made myself just a can of mushroom soup to eat. Threw some crackers in there. And as I was making it, my girlfriend came in and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Making mushroom soup."
It's delicious.
And she acted like I committed a war crime. She was like, "What is wrong with people? She thinks it's only for like cooking things. Like you use mushroom.
No.
She doesn't think you eat it straight. I think it's delicious.
I
Cream of
also
mushroom.
think-
It says right on there, cream of mushroom soup.
yeah.
Delicious, right?
It's delicious.
Fantastic.
That wasn't a weird thing for me to do.
Absolutely
No,
not.
I would have kicked her out of the house.
Yeah.
You're in a safe space here,
Definitely
Tyler.
need to take a walk.
Yeah. Tell her that she needs to consider her life choices.
Yeah. That's
Next time I see her, I'm going to tell her.
sit down and have a chat.
Yeah.
Just ask her the same question too. See what she says.
Do you think Amber would think cereal's a soup? Can you text her real quick?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Text her real quick. We'll get back to her. Question number 2, ask the idiots. Now that we know Jack Campbell is coming to Edmonton, you're his real estate agent. Which neighborhood in the city are you having him move to?
St. Albert.
There's Tyler's answer. Liam?
Well, I am looking for a roommate right now in Sherwood Park in my townhouse. So Sherwood Park.
There you go. I'm also, you know what? I've got extra rooms. I live in the West End. Feel free to come on down, Jack.
Rick, where do you live?
I have no space in my place, but I know a friend who was looking for one, so I'm going to tell him head on down to Wanye Manor.
Oh, Wanya's got plenty of rooms.
No, he's got lots of space.
He's got lots of space.
Both cats and the dog.
Oh, they could have their own floor at Wanya's house.
That's what he's offering.
Dan, where is Jack Campbell moving?
The Woodcroft area.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Jay, I don't know. Like is that a question that we were asked?
Is that an actual area?
Apparently, I just Googled it.
Oh, I was like, I don't think you want to live anywhere near your coach, to be honest
But
with you.
that's I'm gonna say I don't want him near me because I feel like I would fanboy with him, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, Woodcroft.
But, or alternate theory, you could walk your dog while
That's
he
true.
walks his dog.
That's
Or
true.
cat. Does he walk his cat?
He does.
He does walk his
Does
cats.
he really?
Yeah.
There was a
There's videos
tweet
of it.
about that. Yeah.
Off-putting.
Isn't there a team
Yeah, I
house
don't know
that's been
about
handed down too? Doesn't like Ethan Morrow own a house that's been handed down through players?
I think so.
And then I believe
Where's Will Acton live? Like, where's his house? Maybe
Nowhere.
Jack Campbell moves into Will Acton's house.
No, I'm fairly certain Will Acton was just staying at the Cantera.
He lived with his dad.
I think he should just move to the arena district so he doesn't have to travel very far.
No, I think Perron was living in some like serious mansion too that's been handed down through the organization. So I'm gonna suggest that place. Yeah, and that place was cool.
Great question.
A
Next one.
lot of options.
Next question. Ask the idiots. Number 4. Dan, I'll start with you on this one.
Yes.
What position or title could we give to Ryan Smith? Because I think he deserves one. I want to get him a ring.
I think like a liaison to the fans would be a good one. Like Semenko, I think, had that role years right before he died. He was like
He was just like a hype machine.
yeah, you just kind of go around, schmooze with some of the people in the boxes, and you know you're around the organization. Because I love Smitty.
Who doesn't? Liam, we're good. What kind of title could we give Ryan Smith to get him a ring?
Well, aren't they going to retire his thing pretty soon? Like, isn't he on
What
the Wall
thing?
of Fame?
His hair.
Well,
His number? He's not in the Hall
No,
of
they're
Fame.
doing the Wall of Fame thing, right?
Oh, did they announce that?
I don't know.
Didn't they announce that last year? Or did we
Are you telling
might have made
Porky
that
Pies?
No, I think Liam's right. There's some kind of ring
Yeah, I
of
thought they
honor
were
or
doing it
something
like
coming.
right along the thing.
You said thing a lot.
Yeah, maybe some like, because aren't like Ferentz and McTavish part of like that kind of liaison thing too?
Not
Like
Mac
that-
T.
that-
Not
He is
Mac
in
T
St.
anymore.
Louis.
Oh yeah, he's out. So there's a spot.
Yeah.
Replace Mac T, 50-50 guy, panel guy.
Like he sells 50.
Like he sells 50-50?
Well,
Mac T
remember
did
Mac T
that.
did that.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
telling me, hey, listen, I've been in the area. I've seen him buy them too. He's supporting the cause.
Oh, okay.
Where are you, Smitty? Come do that. There you go.
Nashville, I think.
50-50.
I'd love to see him on the panel because the per 60 on TV would go up
That would be big.
exponentially. Rick, oh, by the way, breaking news. Tyler's girlfriend says cereal is not a soup.
Correct.
Not a soup.
Did you send her the definition of soup though?
No, I don't care.
Come
that much.
on. Not even
Just
giving her an
really are the-
opportunity in this.
Where's the tie hanging around your neck? You are Brian Burke of this panel.
Yeah.
Rick,
I think you need to look at a list of name or titles that are allowed on the Stanley Cup. Because let's face it, we can't just put any name on there. I know of a certain owner's father whose name was on there, and now it's just a bunch of X's.
Well, okay, technically it's still on there though.
Yeah, now it's just a bunch of X's. You can't read it. So we need a list of titles because if you want to make sure he gets on there, you may have to give him like Joe's job or something like that. Because I'm not so sure like the Mac T's and the Semenkos are cup or name on the cup worthy.
Wasn't that why we brought Gretzky back?
I'm coming to Tyler because he doesn't care. He's over it.
I am.
He's on vacation already.
Yeah, you've checked out
So
already.
checked out.
You want Shane Wright's name on there? Don't
You got to give Smitty a job though.
Yeah.
What is it?
Something about being in front of the net. I don't know.
The heat's getting to him. He's got to have some more water.
Yeah,
I think he's dehydrated.
you put back
This
almost a
water break
liter
is
of
brought
water.
to you
so far.
by.
Dan.
Yeah,
What job can Smitty have?
I already told you.
answered.
You like asking my questions. I like it.
I don't remember.
He's answered all of the Ask the Idiots questions twice.
Hey, I'm pretty sure that was a red wine he was having this morning. Though.
Yeah. Smitty would be, he'll like teach the young players about heart and how to be an Oiler, something like that.
The Heart Ambassador.
Heart Ambassador. There you go.
There you go.
I like that. There's
I
my
made that-
answer.
I made that word up. That's not Tyler's answer. That's mine.
It's mine.
Last questions. Ask the Idiots.
Thank God.
I'm going to stretch this one out for the next 35 minutes.
Ask me twice.
Dan, what is the worst Slurpee flavor?
Ooh. It's usually the one that doesn't have a name or anything on it. The one that's like swamp water that they just kind of put the leftover bags
That
into.
happens?
I think there is one called Swamp Water.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
Oh,
like
come on, you
swamp
can't.
water was a
Swear
thing
to
we did
God.
when we were kids.
No, swamp water needs to be made by hand. You
Yeah.
can't just go to the one tap that says swamp
Yeah.
water. How do you
Exactly.
trust that?
That's like a bar mat.
You
Nobody
can't
wants
trust.
that.
No, good Lord, no.
So I'll say that one. Swamp water.
Rick, what,
Banana. I'm jumping in. Banana. That sucks.
That's
Don't
a good
drink
answer.
banana.
yeah, nobody
Do you want to
wants
ask me now, Bag Milk?
Dan, what's the worst Slurpee flavor?
Cream soda. Hate cream
Dairy.
soda.
What the fuck?
I get it, but okay.
Nah, I'm sorry, guys. There's Pepsi or Coke.
What?
and that's it. I mean,
Oh my God.
7-Upper Sprite is available on the next level, but after that, like, and
my God.
any flavor that's just a color, I can't get behind that either.
The darker
It's like
the
blue.
brown, the better.
Yeah.
The darker the brown, the better.
Purple's not good. Yellow, orange, blue.
I respect
Sorry,
it.
so you're
Give me
saying
the Coke, Pepsi, and then so if I'm gonna make a mix, I go Coke,
And Pepsi.
a little bit of Sprite, and then sometimes I've done that. I got feeling a little spicy. If they got both, I'm gonna give them both.
All right.
Well, I just got Dr. Pepper in mine.
Yes,
And if
it's
they don't have
terrible.
Dr. Pepper, I don't get it.
Terrible.
Bag Milk, are you going to ask me?
Root beer's terrible.
Dan, what's the worst Slurpee flavor?
I'm going to go with cappuccino flavor. Have you guys tried that one? The like
If you're
coffee
gonna,
flavor?
so here's my thing. If you're gonna do that, just go get an ice cap.
Exactly.
No, you go get a martini, espresso martini. Come on, if you're gonna do that, put some booze in it.
Yeah, if you're gonna go get a Slurpee, just go get hammered instead.
Exactly. The same headache afterwards.
I'm
I'm
gonna
telling
say
you, Coke Slurpee with a little bit of Long Island iced tea mix in it.
That works.
I respect.
lime for real.
It's the worst flavor.
What if you get Sprite with a little bit of lime at the bottom?
But the thing is, I don't get more than one flavor.
What about
Just get
lime
one.
and then you
I'm
add
with you
tequila
there,
to
too.
it?
It's very British of
Add
you.
what?
Yeah.
Tequila to it.
Marmite's not a flavor.
Well, that's something I don't get at 7-Eleven.
Would you have a Marmite flavored Slurpee?
No, just plain toast.
You can get that at the Slurpee when we go to Vegas.
Marmite?
No, you can get the tequila. You can get that all at 7-Eleven
it's
in
delicious.
Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to come on my first nation vacation.
The worst Slurpee flavor definitively is whatever fucking Crystal Light one they have there. It's just like
Respect.
nobody wants that shit.
We're
Get it outta
looking for
here.
a sponsor for Ask the Idiots, but not you, Crystal Light.
Yeah.
Wait, and just for the record, it's Slurpees and then everybody else. So Frosties, whatever the rest of the names are, it's Slurpees from 7-Eleven are on the top shelf, and the rest of them are like
Unless-
2 levels down.
Unless one of those companies would like to sponsor us. Then,
Yes.
No.
then they are the more superior.
Except you, Crystal Light.
Hey, Circle K, I got something to say to you.
Just looking dead down the down the barrel
down
there.
Broadway.
All right, we're going to wrap up the podcast with hot and cold performers of the week for our friends at Twig and Berries. But first, before we get it, last question real quick, Tyler. Biggest area of need for the Oilers still as we go through the offseason?
Veteran left-handed defenseman.
Dan?
Some depth in the forward core.
Rick?
Instead of kind of a shut down right-handed defenseman.
Liam?
Yeah, left-handed defenseman.
I'm also going to say a lefty, but I want him to be like a bruising kind of shutdown guy. Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather have Broberg playing there and learning the way and having
You
that
need
type
a safety net.
Well, get number 7 for sure. Then you find a number 7, but I think it's needed in the top 6.
Bring back the Cowboy.
No. You can bring back the Cowboy?
Go get Adam Larson from 4 years ago for Barry.
Barry for Larson swap.
Barry for Susie.
I would like Carson Soucy.
Because Susie can play both sides. Can he not?
According to Cap Friendly, he can.
There you go.
They're never wrong.
Good.
Are you looking at me?
For Twig and Berries, it is time for the hot and cold performers. Boys, this is the rules for today. Hot and cold performers. Who had the best and worst start to free agency? The best and worst start to free agency. Those are the rules for today's hot and cold performers. If you go to twigandberries.ca and use the promo code NATION15, you get a little discount on your order. Or if you're out and about, if you're in St. Albert, head Tyler's way and check them out in store. If not, twigandberries.ca. Get yourself some fresh undies. That's what I recommend. The nutsack undies are comfortable. They look good, feel good. Nation Dan. What is the worst Slurpee flavor?
Root beer.
There you go.
Excellent.
Okay, Dan, your Twig and Berries cold performer of the week in terms of worst start to free agency.
Well,
we can probably double up here, boys.
I am going to take the worst one off the board, so I'll be one of the first people to say it. It's the Calgary Flames for letting your top scorer go when you already struggle with offense. You're my Twig and Berries cold performer of the week.
Rick, for our friends at Twig and Berries, who's had the worst start of free agency so far?
Let's go with, we're going to go over to the east there. We're going to go with Toronto. I just think, you know what, you've lost a couple pieces there. You needed a couple pieces you haven't added, and you lost a couple pieces you still need. Going backwards from Campbell to Murray and Samsonov, probably not a great move for those guys. So yeah, they're going to be my cold performer.
I'm upset.
I am not upset, for the record.
Liam, your Twig and Berries cold performer so far in the free agency.
Vegas, once again, proving they have no idea what the cap is.
Are you thrilled I'm not.
I am. Tyler, your Twig and Berries cold performer of the week.
The Philadelphia Flyers. Are you in a rebuild? Are you not? You give up picks, a lot of picks to sign Tony DeAngelo, and then you have him and Ristolainen making $10 million, even though they both are like fine defensemen, and you have a chance to get Johnny Guidro. That opportunity is handed to you on a silver platter. You just have to offload Van Riemsdyk, and GM Chuck Fletcher says he doesn't do it because it would have been difficult. What? What are you doing? Like, even if you have to give up a first round pick to get rid of JVR, you then get to sign Johnny Gaudreau. What are we doing? Philly, cold performer.
You're as cold as ice.
I am going to go, you know what? I like the story. I understand why you did it. But the Pittsburgh Penguins brought back the band, kept them together. They're just getting old. They're just getting old. And I don't really like the Rickard Rakell contract. I apologize to Tyler. So Pittsburgh Penguins get my cold performer of the week.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Secondary cold performer, David Perron, for going to Detroit and not coming here. I would have loved another round of DP. Good. For Twig and Berries, your hot performer of the week, Liam. I'm starting with you.
I'll go Columbus. You somehow got the best free agent off the market when nobody expected you to do anything. But also you signed Eric Branson to a 4x4. So maybe they're not that hot, but I've already said it. Don't worry.
He's a hot guy.
That's how they got Johnny Gaudreau, didn't you hear? He followed Goodbranson.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course you got
deal.
it. 100%. Rick, your Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
I'm going no further than Edmonton, man. Just keeping Kane, keeping Kulak, adding Campbell. That's huge right there. We were already a top 4 team last year in the playoffs. Yeah, that's a hot performer right there.
Yeah! Somebody called you. That was so hot.
I know, right?
Nation Dan, your Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
Well, this one sucks to have to say, but it's the Carolina Hurricanes for being able to pick up spare parts off of San Jose and Vegas for really nothing. So to me, Carolina Hurricanes didn't really go out and make a splash in the free agency, but you still got better. And so you're going to be my Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
The big guy is smoking hot.
My cadence throws off Liam.
CD skipped.
Fingers.
The CD skipped.
Tyler, your M-check. Your Twig and Berries hot performer of the week.
It's a hot Pierre Summer, baby. Pierre Dorion, led by the organization now led by Eugene Melnick's 2 young daughters. Somehow had the best offseason they've maybe ever had. You get a 40 goals scorer in DeBrincat for nothing but picks, and picks that you had extra ones of as well, because you still got to make a few selections. You signed Claude Giroux, who miraculously wants to be there. Like, he actively seeked out the Senators as a destination. Plus you have this young core. Plus you got Cam Talbot off the scrap heap. What a summer by the Ottawa Senators. And guess what? They still have $11 million in projected cap space with like a couple RFAs to sign. They could go out and get John Klingberg and build this team to be a legit playoff threat in the East. That's insane. What a turnaround. Pierre Dorion, let's go.
Feeling hot.
Is that sustainable, by the way?
Feeling hot.
Button's not done, Rick.
Sorry. Now it's done. Is it sustainable to keep DeBrincat, keep all these young kids in there, get them their new money?
I would argue, why not? Like, DeBrincat's going to need a bit of a raise next summer, but you have a few expensive D-men coming off your books and whatnot. I think it's more than sustainable. I think that young talent that they have and have subsequently locked up, why not?
Yeah, they're going to be a good team going forward then.
Yeah.
Tough division, but great team.
Yeah.
My Twig and Berries hot performer of the week. You guys took all my answers, so I'm going to go with a secondary one. I like, they're not a winner, but I found them fun to watch. The Detroit Red Wings, they just signed every free agent available. They traded for a goalie that we were rumored to be pursuing. So Steve Yzerman always does interesting shit, and I think he did it again. I think the Red Wings will be better, but I don't think they'll be a playoff team. Even so, I think they are one of the better teams so far in free agency.
It's getting hot in here.
Credit to us for not doubling up.
Yeah, try not to.
Yep.
Try not to.
We covered 10 different
10
teams.
What range on this Oilers podcast?
A lot of range here. A lot of talent.
Yep.
With that, we'll wrap it up. So I want to say thank you to our friends at DoorDash, Oodle Noodle, Cornerstone Insurance, and Twig and Berries for making it possible. And Tyler will be on vacation next week. Liam will be sitting in, so we can go as long as we want without Tyler stopping us.
And talk whatever we want.
Yep.
To be fair, we did a lot of nonsense and went very long today, so I don't know why I have this reputation.
While Liam is sitting at the board.
Good point.
I have all the power.
Tyler would have left already.
Does have all the power.
You can't get away from the table though.
Thank you all for listening. Have a great weekend.
Shout out Daily Faceoffs, Frank Saravalli.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, delivered by DoorDash. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.